Doctors gave amnesia patients a simple video game. Hours later, asleep, their minds filled with falling blocks they could not remember ever playing. They remembered nothing, not the screen, not the room. Yet the dream came anyway, replaying an experience their waking minds had completely erased. Every night you do the same thing. You hallucinate for hours, believe it completely, then forget almost all of it by morning. You will spend about 6 years of your life dreaming, 6 years of stories your brain writes, screens for no audience, and deletes. For thousands of years we called them omens, messages, visits from the dead. For most of history, nobody could even prove when they happened. Then, in 1952, a frustrated graduate student pointed a crude machine at a sleeping child and found the answer twitching behind closed eyelids. That discovery split sleep into stages and gave us a door into the dreaming brain. But it only deepened the real question. Why? Why would evolution build a nightly theater of nonsense when a resting brain could simply switch off and save the energy? Dreaming is metabolically expensive, and while it happens, your body is paralyzed and defenseless. Nature does not usually pay that price for nothing, so there must be a reason. 4 clues: a sleepless experiment, a dreaming rat, a video game, one bold theory. Reveal it. Start with the machine. In 1952, Eugene Aserinsky was a struggling graduate student studying sleep at the University of Chicago. Short on money, he built a device to track eye movements and tested it on the nearest willing subject, his own sleeping son. For most of the night, the eyes stayed still. Then in bursts, they darted rapidly beneath the lids as if watching something unfold. Aserinsky thought his machine was broken. It was not. He had just found rapid eye movement sleep, the state we now call REM. When he and his mentor Nathaniel Kleitman woke sleepers during those bursts, the pattern was unmistakable. Almost every time, the person was dreaming. For the first time, dreams had a fingerprint. You could watch them happen from outside the skull, mark exactly when a mind went elsewhere. A young medical student named William Dement joined the work and mapped how REM returns 4 or 5 times a night in lengthening waves. Sleep was not an off switch, it was a cycle, and at each wave's peak, the brain burned almost as bright as waking. The strange part, during REM, your brain roars with activity, yet your muscles go limp and the outside world locks out. An active brain in a paralyzed body, night after night. Dement asked a darker question. What happens if you refuse to let it in? So he ran an experiment that sounds almost cruel. Each night, the moment a volunteer's eyes began to move, he woke them up, just enough to cut the dream off before it started. Then he let them drift down and interrupted the very next one. The first night took only a few awakenings, but the brain fought back. Each night, sleepers plunged into REM faster and more often. By the 5th night, Dement was waking one man dozens of times. The urge to dream was building like pressure behind a dam. And the men changed. Dement recorded rising anxiety, irritability, and trouble concentrating, as if losing dreams was quietly unpicking their days. Then he stopped interrupting them. What happened next has a name: REM rebound. Freed to sleep, they crashed straight into dreaming. They dreamed far more than normal, as though repaying a debt, clawing back the exact hours of dreaming he had stolen. That single result changed everything. Dreaming was not a leftover of sleep. It was something the brain actively needed and would demand back. Whatever dreams do, the body treats them as essential, worth building pressure for, worth recovering the moment the barrier lifts. But needing something is not the same as understanding it. Knowing dreams matter only sharpened the question of what they are actually for. To answer that, scientists needed to read a dream from the inside, not a forgetful human, but a brain they could decode. They found it in an unlikely place, a rat running a maze at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in 2001. The neuroscientist Matthew Wilson had wired electrodes into the rat's memory centers, listening as specific cells fired for specific spots along the track. Each stretch of maze produced its own signature of firing neurons, a code Wilson could read like footprints in fresh snow. Then the rats fell asleep. And in their sleeping brains, the exact same signatures began firing again, in the exact same order. Of 45 sleep recordings, 20 replayed the maze so precisely Wilson could tell where the dreaming rat believed it was standing. The rats were rerunning the track in their sleep. And sometimes the replay ran backward, the day rewound, end to beginning. Later recordings from the visual centers showed the replays carried pictures. The rats were not just remembering the maze, they were seeing it again. This is the memory theory of dreams. As you sleep, fragile new memories move from temporary storage into the permanent architecture of the cortex. Dreams, in this view, are the sparks thrown off by that transfer. The mind rehearsing the day so the lesson survives the night. Which explains those amnesiacs. Given Tetris, 17 sleepers saw blocks falling as they dozed, 5 of them unable to form any new memories. Their conscious minds erased the game. But underneath, the brain filed it anyway, then replayed it. A dream outliving the memory itself. But memory alone cannot explain why dreams feel the way they do. The fear, the chases, the grief that lingers after you wake. During REM, one region runs especially hot, the amygdala, the brain's alarm center, soaked in the chemistry of emotion and motivation. So dreams are not neutral recordings. They lean toward what scared you, thrilled you, or hurt you. The memories carrying the most charge. Studies suggest this is repair work. Dreaming through a stressful event can soften its sting, filing the memory while draining some of its pain. It may be why grief and trauma flood our nights, the sleeping mind returning to what the waking mind cannot settle. One researcher, Revonsuo, pushed this further with an idea both simple and unsettling: the threat simulation theory. Notice how many dreams are frightening, falling, chased, trapped, exposed. Revonsuo argues that is no accident, but a nightly survival drill. For our ancestors, dreaming of the predator was rehearsal. A brain that practiced escape in the dark woke better at escaping in daylight. Fear, then, is a feature. The nightmare is a flight simulator running deadly scenarios where crashing costs only a racing heart. Memory files the past, emotion rehearses danger. Yet neither quite explains the strangest thing about dreams: how deeply, relentlessly weird they are. Why does a dream melt one place into another, turn strangers into family, break every rule of logic and never once seem to notice? A neuroscientist named Erik Hoel thinks that weirdness is the whole point, and he borrowed the explanation from artificial intelligence. Train a neural network on the same data too long and it overfits. It memorizes those exact examples but fails on anything new. Engineers fix this by feeding the network noisy, corrupted, distorted inputs, forcing it to find the general pattern instead of the specifics. Your brain, Hoel argues, faces the same trap. Live one narrow day and you risk mistaking today for how the world always works. So each night, it generates the strangest data it can. Warped, impossible, dreamlike. Dreams are your defense against a too narrow mind. Memory, emotion, survival, imagination. Maybe dreams were never one thing, but all of it at once, in the same dark theater. So tonight, when the world dissolves and the impossible feels ordinary, know this: that nonsense is your brain, sorting, healing, rehearsing, keeping you whole.